Hola guys, welcome back to my Hola guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. Today I want to share with you guys my recommendations for Hispanic Heritage Month. So first I have two from a new favorite author as of last year. I read two of her novels last year and really enjoyed them both, and I intend to read one of hers for the month this year, and that is Carolina de Robertis, and I am recommending Perla and the Gods of Tango. The Gods of Tango is a queer lit novel as well, which is great. Perla is both of them are really focused on Kylo is running around. He has the zoomies. Both of them really focus on the history of Argentina. For Perla, it's about the desaparecidos and the dictatorship, and our main character is forced to grapple with the truth that she finds out about her family, that really shake her, and she sort of has to reconnect with herself and her history, and find out really who she is, where she fits into this world and into this history that she has had the privilege to turn her back from, you know, from all of this pain, but now she really has to grapple with it and learn about it, and that privilege is stripped away kind of forcefully for her. And then for the Gods of Tango, we have our main character who arrives from Italy to Argentina to find out that the man that she was going to marry has died. And in beginning to live her life in this new country, she finds tango and falls in love with it. As a woman, she cannot perform tango. It is something that's still very tawdry and not as it is seen today, and so she begins to live her life as Dante, and eventually that is the person that he becomes, and Dante lives his life for the rest of his life as Dante, and it's about him exploring who he is as a person, coming into his own, learning that love of culture and of tango, and finding love and really being true to himself. And we see that transformation, and it's an absolutely beautiful novel. Both of them are written so dreamlike and beautifully. She has such a Carolina de Robertis has such a distinct way of writing that it really just is very moving, and I absolutely loved it, and that's why I can't wait to read Cantoras, which is on my TBR for this year. And I have a collection of a poetry collection called Corazon. You may have heard of the author Jessica Salgado. She is pretty famous in like the Latinx Instagram, Twitter kind of social media activism world, and she's been featured on Latinx podcasts and things like that, and it is about living life as a fat Latina woman, and it is, my neighbors are having a good time. It is moving and beautiful, and I really enjoyed it. Then I have Next Year in Havana and When We Left Cuba, both by Chanel Cleeton, and they are historical fiction romances based in Cuba and Miami, and kind of going back and forth during the rise of Castro and everything that happens, the lead up to and everything that happens afterwards, and each one focuses on a different sister in the family, and I love them so much. They immediately pull you into the story, and they really have a lot of levels to them, everything from history to privilege to machismo, and all of those are done really effortlessly and seamlessly throughout the stories, and I cannot wait to learn more about the sisters, and to see really what else Chanel Cleeton can give us. Then we have two young adults. One is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. She is the author of The Poet X, which I recommended, I believe, last year for Hispanic Heritage Month. I recently read With the Fire on High and loved it. And it is about a Black Puerto Rican high schooler named Imani, who is a mom, is a teenage mom. And so it's about her trying to balance motherhood, going to school, trying to figure out her dreams, having a job, family, and being able to provide for her daughter the things that she didn't feel like she got. And it's a really just a really charming, really nice story that I really enjoyed about her perseverance and family values. And I just love so far everything that Elizabeth Acevedo has done. Then we have Nocturna, which is a young adult Latinx fantasy. And this was really fun, really fast-paced. If you enjoy young adult fantasy, I think you'll really like it. It has a lot of magical elements. Each individual character has a sort of personal magical ability, and our main characters are a prince who does not really want to be a prince because he is sure that his brother, who was to be prince but has died, is not actually dead. And then a thief who is trying to escape her past and make a better future for herself, and their paths cross, and the story sort of takes off from there. And it's really fun, it's really fast paced, and it's really great to see fantasy from a Latinx point of view, which you really don't get much of. Then we have Signaltonoise, which I also read recently, by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and this has been one of my favorite reads of the year. It's about 3 kids who find that they can perform magic through music, and it's about friendship, and it's about youth, the mistakes that we make as kids, and how we can be redeemed in, you know, later on, and about asking for forgiveness and finding love and family. And it has really stuck with me ever since I read it. It was, I sped through it. I loved all the different elements that Silvia Moreno Garcia was able to put into this wonderful story. I love the concept of it, of music as magic, and I really love the redemption aspect of it as well, and how we can make a lot of mistakes when we're young, really just at any point in our life, but definitely when we're young, because we're so immature and we are kind of learning as we go, and how you can make up for those and save some really amazing lasting friendships. Then we have a middle grade fantasy called A Sprinkle of Spirits, which is in the Love, Sugar, Magic series by Ana Mariano, and this is about a family of Mexican, I believe, women who can perform magic through their baking, and we are getting to know more about their magical world and how it exists within sort of our world. And it's expanded because now we get to see into the afterlife and what happens when you die, and you get to meet more of Leo, our main character's family, and see more of her develop and become more of a witch and sort of come into her powers more. And it's just such a sweet series that I love so much. I believe the cover for the 3rd one has already been released and is coming up probably sometime next year, and I can't wait. I recommended the 1st one, I believe, for last year, and I'm recommending the 2nd one. So this whole series in general, really, if you like middle grade and if you like fantasy, I think you'll really enjoy it. Then we have The House on the Lagoon by Rosario Ferrer. This is a family drama, literary fiction. It has 2 unreliable narrators, which are the 2 individuals in our main couple, and this was really a trip. It was so wonderful to read. It was so great to see so many different aspects of Puerto Rico and Puerto Rican history and culture woven so seamlessly into our story. I really love the writing. I I am shocked that I had never really heard about Rosario Ferreira until I started to do some research into more Puerto Rican authors and came across her name. This novel was a finalist for the National Book Award for 1995, I believe, and I definitely see why the writing is so good. And again, we get so many themes so seamlessly woven into the story, everything from the anti-blackness of Puerto Rican culture, which speaks more broadly than to Latinx culture, the machismo, really our main female character has to grapple with the oppression that she feels within her own family. It's about the difference in values between generations, so parents and their kids, and how that can come to a head. I grew to care for these characters and to really want to find out what happened. Essentially, our main female character is trying to write a history book about her and her husband's family and their ancestors. And the husband finds out and says that everything that she's been writing is a lie. So then now you have to figure out who's telling the truth, what's really going on, what lies beneath this sort of surface level story that we're being told. And it was so smart and wonderful, and I absolutely loved it. Then we have Bodega Dreams by Ernesto Quiñones. This is about our main character Chino, who, in order to sort of try and get ahead in life, he's about to have a kid with his wife, meets Willy Bodega, who has these dreams for what the barrio should be, and the story sort of takes off from there, and you never really know what's going on, and you have questions about the motivations of our characters. But it's a really great commentary on the persistence and the work ethic of Latinos. We have to really fight to get ahead, the way that the American dream manifests for us, and everything that we have to fight against to get anywhere in our families, the way that we all come together, and sort of the dreams of Willy Bodega and what that means for Spanish Harlem, and what that means for Latinos and maybe just othered people in general. And it's a really honest novel. It felt really honest. It felt like I knew someone like every character in this novel. And again, it's another one that I sped through, and I recently got his latest, which is Taina, and I can't wait to dive right into that. Last but not least, we have Love War Stories, which is a feminist short story collection by Ibelis Rodriguez, which I recently read and absolutely loved. You'll see some of these in an upcoming wrap up, actually. And it's a really diverse collection of stories. It has some queer stories as well, and it was really great to see. It's a really refreshing voice, and I think she touches on a lot of the things that Latinos, sort of my age, sort of like this millennial Latinx generation, is feeling, everything that we're experimenting with, and it just felt really refreshing and really new and nice, and I really recommend it, especially if you like short stories. She is a Puerto Rican author. Those are my recommendations for Hispanic Heritage Month. I hope that you're participating in either the Latinx bingo or the Latinx readathon, or just your own TBR, which is kind of what I'm doing. I'm a little bit all over the place. I cannot wait to see all of the books and all of the Latinx content that's going to be created. Let me know if you have a TBR or recommendations video or anything like that. I would love to see it and share. Have fun during this month. Learn a lot. Expand your knowledge of our culture and our history. I hope you enjoy these recommendations that I have provided. And as always, thank you for watching and for listening. I love you guys very much.